everyone doing today? So I am obviously driving today. It's gross out. It's a nasty day. And so I am just having a kind of get my shit together kind of a day. So no makeup, crazy hair, really don't care. But this morning I was doing some journaling and something actually pretty eye-opening kind of came into my kind of thought process, came in while I was doing some journaling. Last night I had gone on a date and it was a fun date. I had a really great time. It was bowling. I mean, it's hard to make bowling bad. It's just playful and fun, and it's very low key. So I had a good time. We had some good conversations, some food, all that. But my date was asking me about my coaching practice, and he particularly focused in on the word tantra. And I was like, okay, well, what does that mean? And blah, blah, blah. And it got me kind of just thinking and processing a lot about like my tantric practice and all of that. And then this morning, just as I was journaling, all this stuff about tantra kind of kept coming up into my brain. And recently, and I'm doing a Tantra 201 course coming up May 18th with Kendall Williams in the DFW area. So if you're in the area, please make sure to come to that, because it's always different and it's always interesting. Like, it's different because the energy is always different depending on who comes. Now the content is still the same. You're still going to be getting that juicy content. But anyway, this isn't a sales pitch. So I was thinking about kind of my journey and how I really started with Tantra as my base outside of my master's degree and my past therapy work. When it came to my personal my coaching business, Tantra really was the foundational piece of it, and it's really how I came to be within myself. But then I've noticed over the last few years, I've really started to try to water it down. I've tried to water down what I'm speaking about. I've tried to water down, not even, because I'm still speaking about the same kind of processes and manifestation and using your energy. It's not that my practices or my kind of teachings are watered down, but I've been watering down the use of certain words like Tantra. I actually had a coach tell me, this is like a multi-million-dollar coach, tell me that I needed to take Tantra completely out of my verbiage. And at the time I was like, no, I'm not doing that. That's who I am. That is just who I am. I can't take that out. But then also I've started, with Facebook kind of hitting on that word. Facebook doesn't really love that word. And getting, complaints against videos and articles where I'll use those type of words. I don't even think I realize I've watered down certain elements, because Tantra is so powerful, and people think sex when they think Tantra, and that's not what it's about. That's not what it's about at all. Now, does it include our talking about our sexual energy? Yes, but it includes so many other pieces of our energy, so many other pieces of who we are as humans. But I noticed I've started to kind of shy away from that word for fear of being misunderstood, for fear of being seen as, for lack of a better word, a prostitute. I've gotten lots of people who think certain things just because they say I'm a tantric practitioner. They automatically label certain elements, and none of this was conscious. But I've looked at my past year and a half, and I started to water down. And why I'm sharing all of this with you guys today is really that I think at times we don't realize how we water our stuff down. We don't realize how, and I don't even mean entrepreneurs and people like teaching and at our work, but I truly mean, I don't think we realize how we water ourselves down. We don't realize where we start to make little alterations in our reality, not even for other people, not like with that intent of like, oh, I'm going to change this so other people are okay with it. But it really is these little bitty like transitions of like, okay, let me just change this word. Let me just change how I explain this. And although sometimes we do need to kind of like reframe things for others, because the truth is not everybody is going to kind of conceptualize things in the same way we do. So I'm not saying that you can't kind of look at how to express your same thoughts in a different way. But it is, while you're doing that, are you allowing some of your message to be watered down? Are you truly owning it? And not even your message, but just who you are. So I see this all the time in relationships. It's like, okay, like, I love you, you're perfect. Now, could you just change this? Or could you just change that? And so at the end of the day, you're not really actually they're not wanting who you truly are. They're wanting you with little changes. Like if you're somebody who is like super like monogamous. If you're somebody who's like, no, I am a monogamous person, and then you're dating somebody potentially who maybe not as much, you make like little changes in your personality. If you are somebody who, say, I get this question a lot when I'm dating, like, do you want kids? If you're somebody who is like, no, I don't want kids, and you start to make like these little, like, okay, well maybe, like, just in order to kind of connect with somebody, then you are changing who you are. And I think those are some bigger ones, honestly, if I really think about that, like, those are some bigger ones. But I think there's these little ones too, like, you know, if your partner wants to go for Mexican food and you're like, really, I don't like Mexican food, but you continue to just like step in there, well, you're eventually going to change who you are. And I gave a big example. That's kind of it can seem like a silly example, but it is these tiny little changes that can water us down as humans and turn us to kind of like this mush. And it's like, that's not yummy. Like, mush isn't yummy. And so I realized this, like, as I was journaling today, like, okay, I think I have slowly started to take certain elements out in order to not be perceived in certain ways, and also in order to be approved by like Facebook and things. And it has watered my message down a little bit. It has, like, yesterday I had an article get denied for an ad just because I used the word shit. I used the word shit, and and I was told that I used inappropriate language. That is the only word that was even close to a cuss word that I used in the article that I wrote, and it got denied because of that one word. And so me writing without using any language would be me watering myself down a little bit, because that is who I am, in that sometimes that is how I want something expressed. I want that extra little bit of intensity and forcefulness, and that comes out via sometimes curse words. Like, sorry, I'm a New Yorker, I grew up in New York, and I cuss. It's okay. I'm okay with it. And that's like my that's what I've experienced. That's my perception of how this is kind of playing out in my world. However, I know that this is playing out in your world in certain ways, because we all do it and we don't recognize it a lot of times. We don't really see kind of what's happening a lot of times until it's too late. These are those like relationships that you get out of, and then you go, oh my goodness, I changed so much in that, and not not for the better. I gave up pieces of who I am in this way, in this way, in this way, in this way. And so recognizing where potentially you could be watering yourself down, watering who you are down in order to get liked, approval, whatever it is, to fit in better. There's so many different areas. This happens at work a lot for people who have like 9-to-5 jobs. You feel like you have to be a certain way at work. Well, that, if you continue to do that day in, day out, I can promise you it's going to turn into more who you are. You spend too much time at work. You spend too much time with the ones you love. So if you're making alterations consistently in how you're showing up, that will start to permeate who you are as a person. And you'll end up watered down mush. You just won't be fun. I see people who are dating and they're like, oh, I can't mention this. I can't talk about this in my personality. I have to change this in my personality. Well, then you're not you. Then you're this watered down, and really those intricacies, those beautiful like imperfections are what makes us who we are. That is what makes people love us. Like my silly, crazy laugh is why people love me. You know, the fact that I'm a total Harry Potter nerd makes people love me. You know, all my imperfections are what attracts people to me. And the same thing is for you. And so if you have people not loving your imperfections, then you're not with the right people. That's not saying that we can't grow and change and notice areas of our life that we don't necessarily love, like the aspects, and you're like, okay, well, I see where I'm being jealous there. I see where I'm being overly needy there. Those are things that you go, okay, like, I just need to work on me more. I need to do some work for me. But that is for you. That is not watering yourself down. That is you expanding and growing. But kind of look at where you're watering yourself down in your work, in your relationships, really with your family, your friends, everywhere. Where are you making these little alterations in who you are, using different verbiage, even just simply different verbiage, and it is turning you into mush, like a gross mush, because that's not sexy, that's not magnetic. So look at those things. Just my thoughts for the day, because I know there are people out there that can, I know we all can actually, if we're really honest, we all can relate at some level. Some people are totally changing themselves for others, and that is actually a different topic. If you are completely changing yourself, that's not you watering yourself down here and there, little by little. That is you just people pleasing only, and trying to be this other person for others. What I'm talking about is these little changes, these little alterations that eventually will start to kind of add up long term. So anyway, I have to go get creamer for my coffee and a couple other things, because that is a non-negotiable in my life. Creamer for my coffee. So I'm sending you guys all love, light, and tons of blessings. I love you all. Thank you for following. Thank you for watching. Please hit the share button if I've said something that really resonated with you. Help me get my message out there to more people. And yeah, just create a better community. So I'm loving you all, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another Addison Unleashed. Bye, guys.